31 seconds. 28, 27. Let's see here. Let me get my chat going before. Yeah, okay. That's up and running.
10.
Here we go.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
I've played this guy before. I've won 3 and he's won 4. All right, this is not going to be what I wanted to play, obviously. I guess I'm going to have to put a pawn in the center. I wanted to play a Grunfeld. I don't know what this is. I guess we'll just play chess and find out. I don't think that move's right. I mean, I know he wants to play this move, and he was supporting it with the knight and the bishop, but that bishop's attacking this square, which is guarded by a pawn. And that just doesn't seem like the right square for that piece. I think I'm just going to play here. He'll probably castle. He's thinking. I started off with a really good score against this guy. Whoa. I mean, I don't understand these kind of positions well enough to really explain what's so great or bad about that move. I mean, I don't really understand these positions that well. I'm out here on my own. Could play here. Attack that pawn. Just because this piece, which would be guarding that pawn's, left the back rank and it can't get back. I'm not really sure what this guy's got in mind. This piece is going to need a square, though. I think that's the square it's heading for. He may be going to exchange. Oh. Wow. I don't know what this dude's up to. This piece has got to get out at some point. I'm less than thrilled with my b7 square here. Maybe I can just... I'm going to take this piece off. He's right now thinking about this capture. Now I'm going to play here. I think that's where I should go. I play here. He plays here. Then my queen will have to move again. Man. I think I'm going to have to play this move to guard on my queen side. We'll see if he's willing to trade queens. I guess he is. Now we'll play here. We'll work on getting this pawn pushed in. Play here, and then play there. I'm going to try to He has this weakness, but he's also got an open file. I'm going to try to figure out how to play against this. What is the proper way to play against it? I guess he wants to get rid of his double pawn. Not really sure I can do a lot to stop that either. Well, I can play here. And I'm going to play here. Work on getting this push in. I'm wondering if I do this. I mean, I want to bring my rooks in from behind. I think he has to capture. I think he has to do this. And I do that. What's this? Oh, okay. Ostrog's coming on later. Now, if we exchange, he's got these weak pawns on this side. It would seem to me that every exchange helps me. That's what I would think. Every exchange is going to help me out. This is his bad bishop. I'd love to get rid of that one. How do I attack that pawn after I exchange, though? I have to figure that out. I really think I want to do that, though. And I think I want to break this pin. Well, it's not really even a pin. He's not pinning anything. I just want him to, I want to flick his bishop out of there. He's not going to exchange it. Although he might. I mean, it is his bad bishop. He might play here. I hadn't really thought about that. He's got these weak pawns. I mean, if I just move this piece, it unleashes this thing. And that means he's got to move his knight. I'm trying to figure out how to do all that. Yeah, like when I move here, this piece is attacking that pawn. He's going to have to move his knight to guard it. I'm thinking about playing this, making this push, and king here. Well, that knight can hop in here and attack that pawn, which is weak. So I've got to keep an eye on that. I still want to go with this plan, though. And then king here. Yeah, these pawns are my pawn. I got weak pawns, too. Better not forget that fact. Knights just are not helping me at all. Maybe I could play knight here, and knight here. That'd be kind of cool. And I could also play this rook up. I want to play my king up. Okay, he must be getting ready. He's protected the pawn with his bishop, and he must be thinking about playing this move to hit that. And I'm going to have to deal with that issue. I am going to have to deal with that. So how do I do it? This piece is going to have to go here. Yep, that's right. I'm going to go here and attack that pawn again. If he plays here, I'm going to have to guard, and he's going to exchange rooks. I'm going to take back with the king, and when he plays rook over check, I'm going to play back, and I think pretty much all my squares on this file are guarded. This is my one big weakness here, but he has other weaknesses. And this knight going to here, he's going to have trouble defending that pawn. I'm sure he's looking at it right now. I do think that's a fact. He may actually have to retreat a bishop and bring a rook over. He may have to bring his king over to guard this rook, just in case I start exchanging pieces. My recollection is this guy beat me pretty badly the last couple of times. These kind of closed maneuvering positions are really hard to play. I'm better at them than I used to be, but I'm not great. I'm no Magnus Carlsen. Mm-hmm. Magnus loves this kind of stuff. I think for the moment I'm going to take with, well, yeah, either way, I'm going to take with the rook for the moment. We'll see what he does. Okay, if I play here, I am going to win the d pawn. He's going to come after this pawn, though. If I play here, and he plays the rook over, and when is he going to go after this pawn? I know he will at some point. I want to do this right now. I mean, if he wins this one, I'm going to win that one. Oh, he's figuring out a way to protect it right now. He's going to do it with the rook. I can move my other knight now. I was wondering about hopping in here and attacking this piece and driving it away. This knight is just not doing a lot sitting there. I can't really push this pawn. I'm going to have to keep it guarded. I could maybe walk my king over there. Where does this knight need to go? He's got to get in on the action. I'd love to get another piece on the square. Where does this guy go? I gotta have a square for him, a really good square. If I play here, open it up myself by doing this. I don't know. I got to gain a little time on the clock too. Can't really advance my kingside pawns. Kind of, you know, I don't need to give him time because then he will figure out a way to beat me. Oh, so he defended that one. If I play here now, when he captures, I can take with the rook, capturing, attacking this pawn and the knight behind it. It's going to leave me with a permanent weakness right here. And this pawn will hang. Let's see here. If he captures, I capture. He could capture with the pawn, and then no, you can't because of the knight. He could capture with the knight. I capture, he captures, and I take this pawn down here. That could happen. Let's try it out. I may be a pawn down in this endgame, unfortunately. What I'm trying to do is attack his pawns, his weak pawns. The way to do that is to push pawns at him. That move was probably too rash. This is my worst piece. It doesn't have any squares. Now I'm going to take with the rook. Boy, this guy's got bad pawns. If I can just get in there to attack him. 3 isolated pawns. How's he going to guard that one? He's probably going to play his knight in. And when he does, I will have to capture, and then he could he'll have to capture with that pawn. And then I'll get that pawn. Then he'll get this pawn. That would leave the D pawn hanging. I don't know. Maybe I need to. What did he do? Oh, he guarded it with the bishop. He guarded it. Let's see. Still trying to figure out where I can put this guy. I really hate to put him in a defensive position. You'd almost think there'd be a pawn sack here somewhere. Oh man, is that ever ugly? I guess he's going to play his rook over and attack this pawn. Looks like I'm going to get his better piece. He can take my knight. I'll take his bishop. He'll take my rook. I'll take his rook. We could end up doing that. That's probably what he's analyzing right now. That pawn's very weak. What's he thinking about? He's probably going to capture with this pawn, and then I'm going to have to retreat. Yeah. And I'll have to play here. Oh, this is getting scary. These pawns are very weak. He's got that one that'll fall, though. Oh, man. He's almost got to play his rook here to guard that. I think if he takes... Oh, yeah, he did. Now I got to come up. Now is the moment of truth. He can play here. Okay, he's gonna check me back. That's what he's gonna do. He's gonna check on the e file. He's gonna play here and check my king. And now he's gonna come to here. Check. Allows king b4. I gotta play here. He's either gonna play here or here to guard this pawn. That pawn's got a problem. Oh, or he could do that. Okay. So now I need to play. Gosh, do I have time to go after all those pawns over there? In rook endings, you need to be aggressive. You don't have time to mess around. You need to be very aggressive. Okay, let's see. Here. Oops. And I go after that pawn. He's going to go after this one. I think I have to play here. I'm going to have to decoy him with this pawn. That's what I'm going to have to do. If he plays all the way down here, gosh, if he plays all the way down here, yes, which he did, then I need to try and decoy him. Okay, and now he can still play his rook here, which is why I need to be ready to rock and roll. Going after this one. I need to get this pawn moving. If he captures here, I'm pushing. I don't have enough time to play this ending correctly. He's probably just going to come back. Maybe the better thing to do would have been oh man, my rook. He wins again. Back to the tournament. Moved too fast. I think I was lost anyway. That'll be a good game to go over. It was a positional thing, and I don't know which of my moves were good and which ones were bad. Waiting to get paired. Yeah, I mean, I was lost anyway. I think I should have, instead of playing Rook b5, I should have played rook a2 to go after his kingside pawns. I gotta start playing better. Last tournament, I lost 2 games to open the tournament, and then this one I've lost another one. I've slipped about 40 rating points, which is an indication you're not playing great. You know, Sicilian. I wonder if this guy knows this line. I believe we're going to end up in the Lasker Pelican line. This piece goes here in this line. This one can go here or here and trade off for the knight. This pawn will eventually, this knight will go here, the pawn will go up here. This knight will go here and here and support the knight there. It's all about this square and this variation. His move is to get in this push. Probably castle kingside and get in that push. Try to break up my central support of the knight. I dropped all the way from whatever I was, 7 or 8 and 9, something to number 34. I think the move here is play here. And I can do this. Why is delaying playing that knight out? Oh, I didn't even know I'd played this guy before. I'm 2-0. I'd like to make it 3-0. I need another computer. I need another camera for the streaming. That'll be money well spent. I played this Lasker Pelican against a guy at the Little Rock Chess Club, and it really threw him for a loop because apparently they don't play it anymore. They don't play this line the way I played it with the A4 move. I played this pawn here. It's not popular right now, so the guy didn't know what to do. It completely threw him off. That was in a blitz game. Why do I have 2 Lichess tournament things open? Okay, so he's attacking my bishop again. This is really weird. I wonder. I'm just going to put it there. I don't think the knight on a5 has any other purpose than to attack the bishop that I just moved. Okay, now he comes out. Knight takes, bishop takes, queen takes. if he delayed it to stop this move, because then knight takes, this piece would be unguarded. And if I captured, the knight would capture. Maybe he's been trying to avoid that whole maneuver. I'm just going to castle. I may have to play this bishop to here. It may not be going out here for this game. I don't think that does anything. I'm just going to play f3 and kick it. My king can go over here. In fact, I'm kind of thinking, well, I can go ahead and put the piece right here. I think maybe that's my move. You know, that way I won't have his queen coming out on this diagonal checking me. I can play king in the corner later. Maybe play queen up. I'm trying to figure out a way to provoke this knight. I mean, I don't have much strategy other than hold d5. Yeah, I'll probably play queen up and this rook over. King in the corner. All right. I've never really quite had a Lasker Pelican played this way. Maybe I should play knight queen here and then play knight here to exchange that knight. Because I want to have limited strategy. I mean, what's my strategy here? Hold d5. I'd like to have something a little better than that. Okay. Then I play here, followed by here. I wonder if he might go there. What I want to do is play here. I want to make it hard for him to play b5 because I can capture it en passant. Now for this one, if I play here and he plays b5, I capture it. He hasn't gained anything. This rook's going to have to come to the center. That's the right rook. What is this guy doing? Totally not sure. Play that rook there. You know, maybe leaving the rook here and pushing this pawn. His king is not castled. Maybe that was a better strategy. I mean, his king's just sitting there. You know, I mean, in the Sicilian, you just can't sit there in the center of the board forever. He finally plays f5. That's interesting. Play here. He captures. My knight captures. His queen moves. Huh. Totally not sure. I want to play this piece out to here. He captures. I capture. Get rid of the dark square bishop. My queen will be sitting here attacking things on the king's side, while all of his pieces are over here. He may play here and force me to exchange. It's probably his best move. I did see it, but I was thinking, you know, I don't know. I'm kind of getting frustrated in this position because what do? You know, he's not doing anything. I got to figure out a way to break him open. I can't really do it by advancing kingside pawns. I mean, queenside pawns. Okay, if I take, he takes with his queen. I am going to have to capture here. This rook's probably going to have to go back over here. Okay, knight checks, bishop takes, bishop takes. He moves his rook. I take this pawn. And I've won a pawn. Is that crazy enough? That pawn's very weak. I really wish this rook was back over here now. He'll probably play it here. Well, maybe not. Maybe he'll just play it here. Okay. Now I'm going to take this one. And now I'm going to take his rook. The old double attack. He doesn't even have a check. I mean, you know, after I take it. This piece is going to be okay, guarded by this rook. I think my big mistake, I mean, you know, I feel like I've played fairly well in this game, but I think a mistake I made was playing the wrong rook to d1. I think that's probably true. He can't save this rook. So he's going to be down a rook in this endgame. When I said he was probably going to play rook f4, I was already thinking about this tactic. I was going, this guy's really going to have some problems. Oh, that's interesting. Look what he did. If I take his rook, he checks my king. And when I move, he takes my rook. So he actually saved the exchange there. Now, what happens if I just take the pawn? I'd rather play it that way. That was slick. He saved the exchange. I thought he had lost a whole rook. I have an extra pawn and a rook versus a bishop. That's why there's this little +3 down here. That's as we call it, the Reinfeldt count. Well, he's either got to exchange rooks, or he's got to move that rook right there to hold this piece. And then I can probably play my rook here and force the exchange. Because every time something comes off the board, every piece that comes off the board helps me. I'll give it to him. He's trying. He did find a way to save the exchange. I thought he had lost a whole rook. I guess he's continuing to look for a way to do that. I don't know what he's doing. He either has to exchange rooks, yeah, or do that. Now, if I play here, assuming there are no tactics, he doesn't have a check. I'll be attacking this piece with my queen. If rook takes, queen takes. The whole idea being I can get his rook exchanged. I don't think there's a mistake here to be made. I guess we'll find out. I'm just trying to simplify the position because I have a material advantage. Plus, my rook's on an even better square now. For example, if he moves this bishop somewhere, I could exchange. I could bring this rook over. All these moves strengthen my position. My queen's here in the middle of the board radiating. Look at all the squares a queen in the center of the board will attack. All these squares. For those of you that are beginners, I know there are a couple of beginners that watch this stream. The thing is, you have, all kinds of squares that you hit. Oh, I could have just mated them. Nonsense. I mean, I watched a Grandmaster play. ODNT's leading. We have 10 tournament points, but we're in 7th place. I watched a Grandmaster play on the St. Louis site, and at the very end of the game, he missed a mate in 2. He made it a few moves later, but he missed a mate and two. Well, I can't say anything now because I just missed a mate. Right, I took the bishop. Check. He moved. Yeah, queen e8. I would have made him in one. That's worse than two. All right. I hope this guy's easy to play against because these games get me stressed. Got 45 more minutes in the tournament. Pre-move. Oh, I love it when they do that. This is a waste of time. This is the kind of person that's afraid that you're going to come out here and pin their knight to their queen. So it's actually a waste of time. I'm just going to go ahead and develop. It's like he gave me an extra move. It's unlikely in our game that that pawn move will have been useful. Think about doing this. If it goes there, I win a bishop. Plus, I can put this bishop on that diagonal. Bring this knight out. This piece goes here. Castles. All that stuff. I only back up to number 30. I berserked once, only once. I'm not doing it again. I got in a mad rush in that game and blundered something and lost it. And I was like, these are 10-minute games. The whole purpose of me playing in this is to learn something. So that's my approach to this. Later, I'll go over these games and look and see where my mistakes were. One thing these guys are doing, but this guy and the last guy, is smart as they're using their time. If you're playing somebody, you know, some of these games, I'd spend a lot of time. You try to learn from it and try to take your time and think. Well, he just stopped this move. If I play here and attack that pawn, is that really an attack? I don't think so. Let's play here and see what he does. What I need at this moment is a strategy, a really good strategy. I think I want to attack that bishop. That's one thing I think I want to do. He's sitting there. He's having a great time. He's exerting pressure this direction and this direction. I want to make him choose. He can either die there or he can retreat.
Battery 40%.
Whoa! He did that. All right. I guess he's going to take it with the knight. I'm still working on my plan now. He left the game. Okay, maybe he's back. Maybe he's having what do they call it? Maybe he's lagging. I really want to take that piece, but I could play here first and attack his knight. Oh, he'll play his bishop up. Then I play here. I don't really want to play with that bishop coming to f5. I mean f4. That would be too bothersome for me. This square, this square, this square. I think it's time to bring this piece out. There's a great diagonal waiting for it. Awaiting it. Yeah, he must be lagging or something. It says your opponent left the game. You can claim victory in 69 seconds. A lot of excitement in this game. I think it's the time probably to castle has come. I think I want to play this first. I want to put that guy on a great square. Of course, if his knight goes back here, it won't be so great. Back here to capture it, maybe play the rook over. Castling was probably better. I could play here and threaten mate. No, that piece is there. Okay, I can do it this way. Queen here, threaten mate. This guy's lagging. He might be playing on a cell phone or something. Some people do that. Yeah. He's got 20 seconds or you'll get forfeited. Here we go. Sorry, dude. I'm going to take that. I really enjoyed this game, Dr. Butter. What are these people talking about? I want to put up there, give me the cheese. That guy beat me on a mouse slip. I'm still mad about it. Give me the cheese. Guess not. This guy's 1600 and he's number 24 in the tournament. Arena. Yay. Arena. Yay. Whatever. Huh. That weakened that square. This square has no pawn protectors now. This pawn's gone, and this one's all the way up here. This is now a weak square. I guess I'll just play right back. That was a positional mistake on his part, I do believe. Let's play out here. Okay, and now let's break the pin. I guess he's going to play here. I want to get rid of that pin. Okay. Where does this guy go? He could go there. That way this piece can come in. I can't come in now because take, knight here, bishop here. I think I'm a castle. Nope. I'm not going to exchange it. Maybe move there in a minute. Gotta figure out how to do this. Does that work? He takes a pawn. I take a piece. He takes a piece. I take his queen. He takes my queen. Did he want a pawn off of me? I'll see one thing I can do. I can take this knight. When he captures here, I'll capture with my knight, check to his majesty. Okay, the other line is I take a piece, he takes a piece, I take a queen, he takes a queen. At that point, he's captured one piece, and so have I. Now, I think I want to do it this way. He's going to have to take this. When he does, I'm going to check him right there. What? What is this craziness? Dude, you got to take the piece. And now, dude, I'm going to give you check. That's it. Nowhere else to go. Look at this. I could even pick up another pawn. If If I take that and he plays here, I'd be able to play this check. Make him move the king again. Knight would come here, but then his queen's going to grab this pawn. I don't like that. I'm just going to play it back to here. How on earth am I taking more time than him? I feel like I'm waiting for him all the time. You know, those exchanges, those kind of weird exchanges that he did, I thought that I mean, there may have been something better in there for me. You know, he's pawned, we're even right now in material, and he's going after this one again. Let's see, if I check, he's going to retreat this bishop. So I don't want to do that. I want to guard this pawn. That's what I'm going to do. I forgot this piece can come back here. That negates probably everything I said about that queen check. All right. Well, it would be great to have my queen on a dark square somewhere. Play here. Play check. If I play here and he moves his king up, and I check here, the bishop can't retreat because my queen and knight will be on that square. Which means he'll have to move his king, and then I could take that pawn. It's an idea. Check. Attack this pawn. I could have played that knight check. I'm moving too fast. Oh man, that knight check would have forced this piece off. This is actually kind of a dangerous piece over here. You know, I got this weak dark diagonal, and it can make its way back here someday. With my queen sitting here instead of chasing the pawn, if I'd checked, he'd have to have exchanged. Because of the threat on his queen. If I play here, I'm threatening this knight check. He'd have to exchange. Because if he doesn't and he moves his king here, I could play discovered check. Take his queen off the board. I would also like to get my rooks active. If I do all that, though, I'm going to end up with my queen sitting here. I'm not really sure I'm getting a whole lot out of that. Could play here, threaten this, go about it that way. It doesn't have the same bite. So I don't think he's going to want to exchange queens. The best move is probably just to bring a rook to the center. Because he's going to want to he's going to want to contest me on these open files. At some point I want to get that move in. Okay, so he does that. And I'm going to put my queen on my favorite square. He'll probably play here. All kinds of stuff can happen if I get this trade here that I want. He'll open up this bishop on that knight. I can cripple his pawns over there. I'm thinking about how I convert this in the endgame. It's 5 after the hour, which means the tournament's got about 25 minutes left. If I can win this game, I'll have time for one more. Might have to take a bathroom break. Okay, check, king over, check, king back, take queen, take rook. Check, king over, check, king back, capture a piece. I either win a whole piece or I exchange queens and win a rook for a knight. Starts with this. Honestly, the best thing is probably to win this piece. That's a very active piece. It'll fix a lot of my problems if I do that. The other way, I'll win his queen and a rook for a knight. He'll win my queen. Then I'll play, oops. Okay, if I play this check, I don't have that option because he's going to take my queen that I'm going to take there. Miscalculation. Check, he takes my queen, I take his queen. I'm already into it. Okay, wait a minute. Double check, and the king has to move. So check by the knight and the queen. He is going to have to play here to avoid being checkmated. Oops, he didn't play the right move. Back to the tournament. I got 22 minutes and I don't have time for my bathroom break. We're in 5th place. Anyways, Floppy, well played nevertheless. I want to see if Cheese said anything. I said, give me the cheese. All right. We're playing Tony. All right, Tony, let's get it on now. Is he going to abort? What's he doing? Move! Tony, move! I don't believe it. He lost by not moving. I'm going to take my bathroom break, try to get one more in. Tony, you're killing me. Return to the tournament? Oh no! No, 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 no. Oh my gosh. I forgot that I'd re entered the tournament. I meant to pause. Oh, here we go. C3 Sicilian. That's an interesting move. A guy in our Zoom meeting played that against me. I think that was the move he played. Zuko Katara. Bishop sacks, king takes, pawn checks, king here. Gosh, that gets messy. We'll guard it that way. All right, dude. Keep doing other things. Sorry about the squeaky chair. Okay. He's threatening mate. And he's threatening. I really just want to play knight back. he plays check. Then I play knight here. Knight takes, bishop takes. Queen takes pawn. How bad's that going to get? Huh. I'm going to be a little careful here. If I play here, then he checks me. Can't play bishop here because that queen will hit that square. So I'll have to play knight. So if I play here, he checks. I have to play knight here. Then if he plays knight takes, I play bishop takes. He plays queen takes pawn. This can get bad really fast. How do I stop all that? Also, if I go here, captures, captures, captures. At that point, does he win a pawn? I play here, captures, 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 no. That might be my move. Very trappy. We'll see what he does. This is the kind of position that Brent would love to have against me. Shout out to Brent. Shout out to Tony. Tony probably had a connection problem. Well, I'm attacking his queen and I'm attacking his knight. Check. Knight here. Check. Bishop here. He's not going to do any of that. This guy strikes me as a guy who wants to keep a lot of pieces on the board. Oh, really? Well, now I really want to just trade queens. Put an end to all this craziness. He's got an isolated pawn right in the middle of the board. And now I want to attack that piece. He's going to play here. Problem is he's going to play here next. And when he does that, he won't have an isolated pawn anymore. I sure would like to be able to... Oh, really? Well, that was a shock. Because I'll play against this pawn all day long. I just got to make sure it stays isolated. Now we're going to pin that one. This guy's got to make up his mind. Here, he's going to castle. Yeah. This knight's no longer pinned. I want to play here to stop the pawn again. I'm probably going to castle queenside. Man, that's loose. That is so loose. moves. If I play here, threaten to exchange. Kind of like that. Hold up for a minute on his advancing pawn. If I play here and he pushes, captures, knight captures, yeah. We'll play here. If his knight comes out here, I'm going to kick it. He'd love to come here and fork me, which means he might push that, and then I would come all the way back, guarding this square. The tournament has got about 10 minutes left. I don't know if this game's going to make it. Okay. I think it's time for me to castle now. If he does something, if he kicks this piece, it's coming back to here. I can put knight here and in here. I'm going to surrender this square, sort of. If he plays the knight out, I'm going to move this knight immediately. I think that actually helps me because I go here. I guess he wants to come in here. Fork this pawn and this rook. I could play here and attack that piece. He's probably going to play here. Okay, he's still planning on something like this. Let's play here. I think he's going to go here. I'm probably going to have to exchange. He captures. I play here. Then he'll play his bishop back. That's what we're going to do. I'm ready to double on the file. He should probably play here. I'm not going to help him out by taking this pawn and making it good. I'm going to play here and attack that pawn. Really what I'm doing is doubling. He needs to probably oppose me on the file. Probably now. He needs to do something about this. I can still take it. If I take it and he plays rook over, I could drop my rook to here. Or, yeah, because the knight guards it. I'll watch out for this piece, though. I admit his bishop is strong, but I am not about to exchange that bishop. I've got a perfect blockade here of that pawn. Someday I'll do it when I can win a pawn. Sometimes this game's about a brilliant attack where you checkmate them, and sometimes it's about winning the pawn. Here, check, take. That won't quite work, will it? I think the move is to double in the file. I own the C file now. This is a great night. I've only got 5 minutes left. This game's not going to count for the tournament. Not unless he blunders quickly. Okay. So he did that. Let's see. Knight into here. And here. And check. Here to here to here. Still can't take the D pawn. What if I play here and double? 4 minutes, the tournament will be over. I really shouldn't be rushing like this so I can get tournament points because I need to win this game. I've lost a lot of rating points. Okay, his knight's coming to here. I could play rook here. That should put an end to that, wouldn't it? I think I will. This will kind of mess with him. Then the rook will come to here. His rooks are disconnected. You know, if I get this rook to here, I wonder if I could play knight here, pawn takes, rook checks, king over, rook checks, king back, other rook mates. Nope, not with the knight sitting there. All right, what do I do? I guess I'm going to do it this way. You better pose me on the file. What's he doing? This guy needs a strategic plan. Probably pushing these pawns. Let's exchange a rook, dude. Okay, when he captures, I'm going to capture. I ought to think about freezing these pawns. I'm going to probably play here and play king here and king here and king here. This is a good idea. I could even drop this knight back, play him up into here and attack that pawn. I mean, you know, he ought to play here and here. That's what he ought to do. Let's see. Do I get anything? No, I don't. Playing here. He takes. I take. I don't think I get anything for that. I can force him to. If I play here, I'm threatening this. Take, take. Just don't outsmart yourself. You know? I really think you ought to exchange rooks. This pawn needs to go up. Oh, he did. Rook here threatens that knight and that pawn. I gotta make sure I don't back rank mate myself. Tournament's over. Okay. I'll bring my king out this way. This pawn. Oh, he did that. Well, that gives me a pawn. Maybe he's lagging. It's time to bring my king in. 5, 2, 6. Just messing with him a bit. This game's over, dude. This game is over. I'll push this one. How do I do that? Push it up a square. He comes over and attacks it. play here. I wondered if he's angling for this. I can check and drop back here and hit both these. If he plays here, that won't do him any good. Let's try that. Probably not the best thing to do. Check. Dude, don't forget he doesn't have to run out of moves, you know. All right. I'm kind of getting myself in a little bit of a pickle here. What do I do here? I gotta be careful. This guy's trying to checkmate me or some BS. Let's see. I probably have to go back here. If I go here, he pushes this pawn. Is he gonna be able to perpet me or something? No. Here, check, here, and out here. Okay. I don't want to give up that pawn so easily. I hope I don't checkmate myself down here. I'm trying hard to find a way to lose it. Gotta hold that pawn someday. And now what? Push this pawn up? No. How do I win this? Check. Force him up the board and then take that. I need some breathing room for my king. I could play here. Attack that pawn, he checks. I go, nah, that's getting way too ugly. Let's see. I want to just push this pawn. I gave him a little bit too much here. If I go there. Okay, if I go here and he plays bishop check, I take the pawn. Rook comes over and checks me, I come back. But if I go here and he pushes here, then my king's kind of trapped out there. I'm going to need a way to get out of all that. How do I get out of all that? Push there. Check over there. I don't know. I need to make some moves here. I'm probably going to have to walk over that way. Oops. I got to get some squares. Push here. Yep. That's what I figured you would do. This dude's threatening to queen on me. There's that check. He's got me in a box here. I don't even believe this. How the hell did I let this happen? That pawn's got to die, and that one does too. Okay, now I play where? Do I play up? Oh, God, let's see. I'm going to need a rook behind there. He's going to push here next. He can check me here too. He can check me right here. I need to make some moves. This has certainly gotten out of hand. Okay, if I push, I can maybe get it to the white square. Ah! Not good. This whole thing has not been good. Let's see. Rook here. If he captures... Yeah. I can't believe what a mess this has turned into. Well, you can't guard those pawns. I got lucky. He was low on time. Oh, well, that won't do anything. All that does is help me. It's over, dude. Good game. This is for you. He's good. He found some stuff. I missed mate in one. Did he? No, he says, never mind, I didn't. Where'd we finish? 6th. Word Mosaic finished 3rd. Whew. I need a breather after that one. That was a little too close. Okay, I'm going to stop the stream right now. Hope you enjoyed it. Bye.